In a small Indian village nestled between thick, eerie forests, there was an abandoned mansion known as Chandrik Haveli. It was whispered among the villagers that no one dared to enter it, especially after sunset. The mansion was said to house a cursed mirror, one that reflected not just your image, but your deepest fears, sins, and regrets. One day, a curious college student named Mira returned to the village for a short vacation. Mira was a skeptic. She laughed off the stories about Chandrik Haveli. Her friends dared her to step inside the mansion and prove it was just a baseless superstition. "I'll go," she said with a smirk, "but only if you come with me. What's there to fear in an old, broken-down house?" As dusk approached, Mira and her two friends, Kabir and Priya, walked toward the mansion. The air grew cold, and an unnatural silence surrounded them. The creaking wooden door opened as if it was waiting for them. Inside, the walls were cracked, vines snaked across the ceiling, and a strange chill crawled up their spines. "Where's this so-called haunted mirror?" Kabir mocked, kicking aside broken furniture. In the center of the grand hall, shrouded in a dusty, torn cloth, stood the mirror. Its ornate silver frame gleamed despite the darkness, as though it had been polished recently. "I'll go first," Mira said, brushing away the cloth. As she gazed into the mirror, her confident smirk faded. In the reflection, she didn't see herself. Instead, she saw a version of her filled with scars and hollow eyes. The reflection reached out, mouthing, "Why did you leave me?" Mira screamed and stumbled backward. "What was that?" she gasped, her face pale. Priya stepped forward, trembling. "I'll check. It's probably just a trick of light." But as she looked into the mirror, she saw her deceased grandmother, pointing an accusing finger. "You took the jewels that weren't yours," the reflection hissed, the voice echoing around the room. Kabir, trying to maintain his composure, refused to look into the mirror. "This is ridiculous. Let's leave now." But the mansion had other plans. The door slammed shut with a deafening bang. Shadows flickered across the walls, and an eerie voice whispered, "Stay, stay, stay forever." The mirror began to glow faintly, and each of their reflections stepped out of the glass. These shadowy replicas were twisted versions of themselves. Mira's reflection had clawed hands, Priya's had glowing red eyes, and Kabir's was surrounded by black mist. They chased the terrified trio through the halls, forcing them deeper into the mansion. The air grew heavier, filled with whispers of the damned. The group stumbled into a room filled with mirrors, each reflecting their worst nightmares. "We need to destroy the mirror," Mira shouted, clutching a piece of broken wood. "How?" Priya cried. Before they could act, Kabir's shadow self grabbed him, dragging him toward the cursed mirror. "Help me," Kabir screamed, but his voice faded as he was sucked into the glass. Mira and Priya watched in horror as the mirror absorbed him. His reflection appeared, grinning wickedly inside the glass. "One down. Who's next?" Desperate, Mira grabbed a rusted candlestick and smashed the cursed mirror. It shattered into 1,000 pieces, and the room was engulfed in blinding light. When the light faded, Mira and Priya were standing outside the mansion. It was dawn, and everything seemed normal, but Kabir was gone. The villagers later found Mira wandering the forest, muttering incoherently about mirrors and shadows. Priya disappeared a week later, and no one ever dared to go near Chandrik Haveli again. They say that on moonless nights, the sound of laughter and screams can still be heard from the mansion. And if you dare to stand before a mirror at midnight, you might just see Kabir grinning back at you.